It's raining for the next 5 days. I really want to get out, get to one of these local Harley dealerships because I need to do some price checking. I just went online and realized that this is almost the end of 2024, which means if you have not picked up a touring bike and you are looking for a touring model Harley Davidson, you need to get up now. You need to go out and you need to get one, because next year may not be in the same price category as this year is. The reason why I feel like Harley Davidson prices are going to increase in 2025 is specifically based on the reasons why I feel like they lowered in 2024. In 2024, we had interest rates soaring through the roof. It was happening in 22 and 23, and it kept going up. I believe Harley Davidson made up for this by releasing their touring models, the Street Glide and the Road Glide, at a more affordable price in 2024 to make them available to everybody, to widen the horizon, to get them out there on the market. There's a sense that a lot of people were not going to accept these models based off of the technology and the futuristic designs that they went with. Harley usually makes very minimal changes to their motorcycles, and that's what their traditional riders want. So I feel like that's going to be something huge we're going to see going forth in 2025, is we're going to see a return back to a tiered price line with the touring models. So you may stay at that entry level for that entry price at $26,000 with Harley Davidson Street Glide and Road Glide, but I feel like you're going to have a $30,000 level, you're going to have a $33,000 level, and they're going to be premium packages that you're going to be able to add on to those motorcycles. You're going to see differences in the upgrades with suspension, I believe. You're also going to see packages with chrome, 2-in-1 exhaust. You're going to see a true dual. So I think that's what we're going to see in 2025. I think they're going to be the same models that we're seeing now. There's just going to be a streamlined package that you're going to be able to get, like a touring specific package, a performance specific package, and then you're going to get your base model, which is going to come with the bare bones of everything. But staying with what we've been doing, I wanted to get you guys up this. This is Penelope. This is their straight bourbon. And this is one of my favorite sipping whiskeys here. So I showed you guys the toasted. We kind of went over that. And I just wanted to get this one in here because this is a very smooth, a very mellow bourbon. And this is one of my favorites. This is the 4-grain. This is one of my favorite just sipping whiskeys. So it's kind of like a high-end Jim Beam. It gives you that same taste. It gives you the same complexity, but it's a little bit easier on the palate. It's not as harsh. It's very smooth. The smell is very light, very crisp. I absolutely enjoy this on the daily. I might replace my house whiskey, which is Jim Beam, with the Penelope as we go forward. It's just a little more difficult to acquire where I live. It's super smooth. It's super rich. It's very complex on the palate. It does have a little bit higher of a burn than a Jim Beam, but this is a very, very smooth sipping whiskey. It's something that I can drink on the daily if I did drink on the daily. I very seldom do drink, but I love bourbons. I've been known to sit back and enjoy with one of those, and I love sharing them with people that I know. So whenever I have people over the house, like we had a party here the other night, I'll break out all the different bourbons and I kind of do a sampling here. And I'm kind of the same way with Harley Davidsons. I started out riding on a 93 Dyna lowrider. Then I got a Street Bob, had an Electra Glide Classic, had a Street Glide. Now I'm back to a lowrider S. But I think if I go with a 24, I might go with the Street Glide just because of the tighter package. It kind of feels like it's built around me and I'm not stretching out to reach those controls. On the Road Glide, it feels like I'm reaching very far out to get to the controls because I am kind of a shorter statured individual. I'm 5'11", so right at that about normal mark. So to me, the difference between riding the Street Glide and the Road Glide was I felt like I was reaching out a little bit further on the Road Glide. On the Street Glide, my hands and posture were down. It felt like the bike was a little closer around me and I didn't have to reach all the way out to either get to that screen or the controls on the motorcycle. I did just briefly want to touch on Harley Davidson going forward here in 2025. I believe that we're going to see an increase in pricing on some of the touring models, but I think we're going to see a decrease in pricing with some of the cruiser models. I'm really hoping that they're able to cut down the pricing and get a sub $20,000 motorcycle in the cruising lineup that has more bells and whistles than the Street Bob does. So we have seen that the Street Bob comes in right at that $20,000 level, depending on what you get done to it or paint or any of that before you leave the dealership. I really want to see something in the cruiser category come in at like $17,900. I don't know if Harley is going to be able to do that, but I think that's really what they need. I think that'll push the envelope going forward, and I think that's going to bring a lot of newer motorcycle riders into Harley's cruiser category and get them hooked for life. One thing that we notice with the cruiser category is it seems like the highest end of it is where you get to that heritage and you're kind of pushing that like $23,000 mark. I'd like to see them get the heritage lower, like bring that heritage in around $19,900 and keep it a little bit lower so that we could get more riders into that platform. And I feel like that's going to open a huge door for Harley Davidson. I feel like that's what we really need going forward here into this new era of Harley Davidson. They're really pushing the envelope with performance on their touring motorcycles, but I feel like they're dropping the ball on the cruiser category, and I think that's where they need to step it up. So I hope that in 2025, we're going to see the prices drop on the cruiser platforms and that we're going to get a lot more younger riders. We're going to get a lot more new to Harley Davidson riders into the cruiser category, and that is going to really push the envelope going forward here into the next 10 years. Hopefully that's what Harley Davidson does. I know that there's going to be a price increase on the touring lineup, so I wonder what you guys think we're going to see going forward. Do you think we're going to see a price increase on the touring motorcycles? Do you think we're going to see a price decrease on the cruiser lineup? And where do you fall on the category? Are you a cruiser rider who's going to upgrade into a touring lineup motorcycle? Or are you going to go from a touring bike down to a cruiser? Because we've seen both over the last couple years. A lot of my friends that started out on the touring motorcycles are stepping it down to a lower weight cruiser motorcycle just to get more performance and power out of the bike. And then on the other hand, I've had a lot of friends that started out with the cruiser motorcycles and they stepped it up to touring because they're doing longer rides. They need to store all of their stuff. They need the hard bags. They want the quick detach tour packs. They want the lower fairings. They want a higher front windscreen and fairings so that they're more comfortable on long rides. I want both. This might be the year that I get out there and I catch myself one of these 2024 models before they start releasing the 2025s. Hopefully I can find something on the floor and I can still get it at this low price point. But I feel like 2025, if you didn't jump on these touring models early, you're not going to be locked in at that pricing. I think it's just going to go up, especially when we see the interest rates go down. I think Harley's going to capitalize on that and raise the bottom line price of the motorcycles up, so that way they're still getting their money. But you guys let me know. I'm excited to see what 2025 has in store for us. And I'm excited to see which bourbon that we get, which whiskey that we end up with next week. So thank you guys for tuning in, and let me know how you feel. Comment down below. Let me know, are you going to grab a 24 or are you going to wait and see what 25 brings out?